Welcome to you, my friends, one and all, wherever you may be viewing from. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, celebrating 100 days of Christmas as we finish off our first 100 days with our great new commander-in-chief. And what better way to celebrate than by putting up 100 of the, what we now see, demonic left's heroes of child molesters, child rapists, murderers, scumbag drug dealers, the worst of any gang members that you can imagine, lined up in front of the White House. So all the members of every press corps where they film has to show them in the background, to the point where MSDNC has been saying they should blur out the faces because it's disrespectful to these gang member murdering scumbag illegals. So you can't make this stuff up, yet they keep trying, and it's a glorious thing to see. I love it. I get the comments in the live chat and on the videos saying how every day's like Christmas. I've been happy every day. I even said it on a video a couple months ago that I realized I wake up, I'm happy every day, starting out the day, as opposed to, unlike the left, where you're just miserable and wallowing in your own, delusional, fantasy world of horror that they all live in. We didn't like it. We woke up every day not happy with what was going on, but we live our lives. We move on. We got things to do, and they don't. And now we're calling for impeachment. So here we go again. Let's roll that one again. How did that work out for you? AOC running for president, impeach Trump, all the illegals and murderers in that we can get. Yeah, that's a good platform to run on. We're gonna hold y'all to that one. So there's my little boy. He's out here with me on this beautiful day. We got some cloud covers so the sun's not in our face, right? Yeah, he's a happy boy. He's gonna sit in his chair while Daddy does his thing. So as we close out season 4 here coming up, I was gonna have my Trump flags up and behind me here, but the wind just not cooperating. So I gotta watch the camera now. We're going back. It has been over 2 years since I did this pay dirt. It's one that was a standard for a long time. When I started this, it was the main name in the business. And I don't think I have to say it. You guys recognize when you see this bag, the gold bag, you know who I'm talking about. That's right, it's GOLDBAY. And it's one of our, perennial favorites that Dave would put out. And he was definitely one of my mentors when I started doing this, as far as people that I would watch, and he would go out and show him working in his mine, finding gold nuggets with his metal detector, and then blasting them off with his water gun, and he showed these, and his enthusiasm, the way that he, it was just like if one of us was out there. He did it for a living, but every time it was like a new experience for him to find something like that. It just always really carried through, and same with the quality of his material. I did some of his rarest stuff that he had out. There was like the quartz gold that he had that he put out. I was trying to get for the first time I started doing this, and it finally came up, and I bought it whenever he had some available, and he never had it again. And I think I've got the only videos out on his on the GOLDBAY quartz gold, the GOLDBAY crystallized gold. I know the wire gold. I think John R. Prospecting did some of that, but. Yeah, I've got mainly the only videos out on some of his material that's out there. And now he's just now started carrying some of the wire gold again. But when I bought this, 1 gram, he used to call it the 1 gram chunky. Now it's he's had it down to where he only had a couple offerings on his site. He's got it now where he's got more gold available, different sizes. When I bought this, though, back when I started this in 22, in June of 2022, it was $58 for that bag of a 1 gram bag of chunky gold, with $8.50 shipping on it. So this one was $114.95 with $10.95 shipping on it, and we don't count shipping, of course. But so yeah, $125.95 or $98, whatever it is, for this out the door. And I forgot to look because one of my issues that I've had with them, and that part of the reason I stopped buying from, along with some other issues that kind of came up, and I know a number of you guys still have not gone back to buying anything from GOLDBAY, with some issues they had with actually a couple of viewers of this channel and people in the gold community. I did do that. We got the bags from John R. Prospecting when he got them at the show that we did. That he'd picked me up some of those little $50 bags that he was putting out that were so cool, that white material. And of course I did the $150 gram eagle nest mine. It was the white quartz gold. It's so awesome. But I haven't done a bag of regular, and then I did his new, when he brought out some wire gold. I had the second batch of wire gold I'd done from him. And that's I believe that's when Brian had taken over from almost 2 years ago. So yeah, this will be the first bag of regular material I've done in over 3 years of GOLDBAY. But I just thought it was time. We're coming around. We're closing out season 4, and I hadn't done any this year at all. So yeah, let's get us a bag of some GOLDBAY and see how it is. I know Brian's been doing a good job running. He said he's expanding the days you've seen him. He's been out in Mexico doing his Mexico prospecting. So yeah, let's do a little retro, and we'll get into the class. I never got one of his bags when I first started doing this. His bags were the gold bags that had the GOLDBAY label on them. And I was right at the end of that. I never got a bag that had a GOLDBAY label on it until I got one of those from John R. that he had at the show. And another little note, whenever he used to do these, he had a 1 gram bag, below spot bag that was 100% ROI, and a bag of chunky, 1 gram bag of chunky gold that he had. It was his combo bag that he offered, and I bought that, and I bought the last one of those that he had and that he ever offered. So I got that I think the same time I got his quartz gold, and then never had that anymore either. So yeah, I kind of got the last of the end of his stuff on a couple of different times. So let's check out and see what the modern version of GOLDBAY is here as we turn to our new gold epicenter of South Louisiana. And yeah, we brought out our Doug Odette Trump today for this one, celebrating our 100 days of awesomeness. And just watching the left just go insane. You've never seen anything like it. But again, when you've got nothing, all they have is their hatred of Trump, and that's just and the media, no one listens to them anymore. Trump just destroyed ABC to their face, calling them fake news, you're liars. You hit everything from about Biden, and it's just a wonderful time to be watching all of this to be destroyed on every level. So we've got, this stuff was always known for being very dirty. And he originally did it the wire gold. The first wire gold that I got from him was in that red clay that was the nightmare clay that people actually requested that he change his material because they would have so much trouble. It would stain all of your equipment. Everything that it touched would have this red clay stain off of it. And I had the same thing. It took a long time for me to get all the red clay off the gold station and all my pans after I had done it, for sure. So yeah, he actually changed it to a different material there about 4 years ago. Right when I started doing this, it was down to the bags where it was just muddy, but it wasn't that red clay nightmare stuff. I mean, literally a 32nd of an inch of water would cover up any gold, and you're trying to find fine tiny gold, would cover it up. There was no chance to see it. It was some tough stuff, I tell you. But and that's what y'all get whenever you get some of those nightmare bags. I still have some of it. I dish out sparingly whenever somebody wants the really hardest nightmare type dirt experience. Because that stuff, when I got it from him, at least it didn't have any magnetics in it, any heavies. But when you get it from me, in the Nightmare stuff, it's that the red clay is the least of your worries, and try to get through that, fight through that stuff with other shit in there makes it, again, it's not easy. So it's and he's had other subsequent red clay, red dirts, but it's not the same as that. I forget the name of the formation that he was getting that from. So, well, there we go. You can see we've got a minimal amount of small, and a very large majority of this is the big stuff. So that's kind of opposite of what you normally see. And this is a 1 gram minimum. So get some water set up and we'll see what we're dealing with here. Well, this is one of those rare times where I think this is big. There's enough difference in size to make it worth. All right, well, since we have so much of that big compared to this, I think that was worth it. Let's see if we've got. Yeah, you can see there's a little magnetics in there. GOLDBAY's not known for really having a lot, so that's really a pretty good amount for this, from what I recall. I'll leave a link to my first 2 GOLDBAY videos at the end of this video. They're the lowest viewed videos I have of all my channel is GOLDBAY. I don't know. I have videos from back then that still get, get views every week, like Yukon Gold, that crappy pay dirt company where I was like, basically got nothing. I had 10 pounds of dirt with, I don't know, 0.009 or something for $70, and when gold was going for 60. But yeah, that thing's gotten thousands of views on it for no reason. Oh, there you go. I found that over there in the back. That's what happens when you leave your even your thick Garrett out in the sun for too long. It gets it melts away. I still got the top though, if I need it. That's held up in the stem, so I ought to be able to find an equally good bottle someday to put that on. But all right, well, let's start with our small stuff here, and since we got black sand in it, we're gonna split that up. Looks like we saved most of it in the bottom for this one anyway. Oh yeah, you can see that's not even particularly dirty material. Oh yeah, if y'all saw my I had the 3 years of grilling on the bayou video, and man, I would go up to the store. Normally, they got all this different stuff. They had no mushroom stuff. They had none of the usual. The shrimp was $9 a pound, and they were out of it. Steak was, like a T-bone. T-bones were going for like $18.99 a pound, some ridiculous price. In 2 weeks they'll be back down to $10 a pound. But this week. But even sirloin was like $14 a pound. I'm like, shit, fuck. And then I saw chuck roast $4.99 a pound. I'd seen videos on, can you grill a chuck roast? So, all right, well, let's give that a try. And literally, I had nothing to I could have put some chicken or something beside it. All right, let's just focus on the chuck roast and do that. And, actually, and then I drop it on the damn ground as I'm carrying out, because that marinade makes it even slicker than my usual marinade, I guess. On the plate, I don't know what, but I as I'm leaning over to set something down on the top, just slightly tipping the plate, and it just shot right off flat, splat right on the grass. I had just mowed the day before, so it's full of grass clippings. I mean, it's right there where that like where that dead spot is now. I think my marinade killed it. It's maybe that Lowry's beef tenderizing marinade is not the best thing to eat because it kills your grass instantly. But so then I had to wash it off and rinse it off and sit there for 30 minutes picking grass, you know. And it's and chuck roast has got a lot of membrane between those muscles, so yeah, it all clings, you know. It's just like when you're trying to clean a deer or a rabbit and the fur gets caught in that submembrane on, you know. I mean, it was like that, but with grass. And man, I'm thinking, well, I could eat it. It's not like I fertilized or poisoned it or anything, but it was just the fact I don't have grass in my damn meat. So and then at that point, I'd washed it off too much, so I remade my last pack of marinade. I've got to order more of that because I go and get it online. Added more coals to the grill so it could marinate for another, you know, 10 or 15 minutes. And then put it on. But actually, it came out really good. It was very tender. It didn't have the, look at, is that gold? Is that fine gold? That's got to be, yeah, that's got to be sand. I just saw that popping. Is that fine gold shooting through there? We have gold at the top for sure. But yeah, because normally you've got to cook, that's why you slow cook pot roast, is to give those tissues a chance to break down and tenderize. Hold on, I'm sitting here doing this without my eyes on. That's the problem. I can see mostly, but when it gets down to detail stuff that you need to see, like whether it's sand or gold, that's where I run into problems. Keep it where you guys can see it here. That's the thing, I'm off center from where my camera is. All right. So yeah, it did not turn out the way I expected it was going to. I was going to get, you know, some kind of a, you know, one of everything or elaborate, you know, have the bacon wrapped corn and asparagus and the shrimp on the side, maybe some chicken livers or, well, you know. And it just kind of killed my whole thing when they didn't have anything. Like, all right, well, we're gonna change the script. So thank y'all for watching that, because when it came out, it was getting like no views. I'm thinking, man, I'm not going to get anything on this one. And it's gotten weird when now it takes them, used to be, they'd come out on, when I put them out Saturday night, early Sunday morning, and it'd surge for a day or so, and then that'd be pretty much it. Now they go out and they sit for a few days, and then they'll get, you know, a surge of, you know, 1,000 or 1,500 views on it. But YouTube has been, I don't know if it's because I've been watching it more when these have come out or I've caught it, but like on my pigs in space, if y'all saw my pigs in space video short I did from the I need to get that, I can't get moving around, from when they did the fake space flight, the astronauts. And yeah, it's like it wasn't getting anything. A lot of times my political ones or my comedy ones don't get very much starting off. But yeah, then all of a sudden it shot up like 2,400, and then YouTube pulls like 600 or 700 views off of it. I'm pretty sure I don't have bot forms hitting my, you know, pissant channel, so I don't know what their crap is. That thing just keeps popping and floating like it's a damn cork. I don't know. Did the camera catch that? How it kept rising and falling? I don't know what that was about, but it clicks. So yeah, nice little start to the fine stuff there. So we will get that picked up, and I'll double check, and we'll get into the remaining smalls. Check out that cool little piece of wire gold that had gotten down past me. If I can slow down enough to get a still shot on it here. But it is a very cool little nesting piece where they're fibered together. All right. camera. Yeah, that moves very easily, as you saw. It's a good introductory pay dirt for sure. And again, this is a 3-pound bag, so it's for people that like that extra material to go through. Yeah, that little piece of wire gold was beautiful. My buddy Jammin' Jeff, who or just Jeff as he is known now, but most of you guys know him as Jammin' Jeff, has been around for a little while. He has a piece I think he got from Dave that it looks like a bird's nest, but it's like the size of I can't remember now, it's like a quarter or a $50 or something. It is this awesome piece of that wired gold that is just interwoven. The most beautiful piece I've ever seen. Even with y'all seen what Mike has shown, and but he either got it from Mike or from Dave, because he's worked with both of them on helping them design their own pay dirts. So like I said, he was a real mentor to me when I started this, as far as someone that I actually talked to and would give me advice and help me out on what I was doing, because I was new to all this. So it was great to have someone like that knew what was going on, and was so well respected in the community as well, because he is a great guy. And I give a shout out to him now, because he's been in having some poor health issues that he's been dealing with that have actually gotten worse for him, and I think he is seeing a light at the horizon coming. But Jeff, our love, my friend, and yeah, take care, and I said, hope you back in the game. He did some of those videos where he was recovering scrap metal gold, and that was one that he did. I don't remember the exact details on it, but with basically, $800 worth of scrap gold, and he had just set up all of his equipment and everything, and he still ended up getting like an ounce of gold with this out of this pile of scrap that he had gotten for $800 total, and cleaned it up to a full ounce of gold. And I'm like, hell, that's the that's the market I should be in right there. Good Lord, talk about ROIs. That beats anything anybody's ever put out. $800 to, at that time I think it was going for $1,900 or $1,700 or something like that. But yeah, very impressive. He and Mike at Vendetta would grow silver. They had a little rivalry going there between them, who had the biggest silver tank. It was a real piss and silver contest. But yeah, so thank you, brother, again for the support for all the years. And I said, get well soon. Get back on it, my friend. So, but yeah, Dave used to be known. That's one of the things was his gold. Before Gold Nugget sales, it was, like I said, it was GOLDBAY, and then you had Miners Depot. Chicken Miner had been around, and then of course Lynch, and then you had Lynch started getting into the level of the, where you're paying, you were paying extra for the gold you were getting, as opposed to the higher ROIs like GOLDBAY and certainly Miners Depot. And then you get into the Felixes that were just ridiculous, and the Kleshes, and I think Klesh was probably even better back then than he is now. But and then of course Golden, which is still saturated. You can't go on Facebook without seeing Golden pay dirt ads. Excuse me, everywhere. 10 different companies, all golden. So. Yeah, but then David, he'd even joke that there's a lot of times he's making this stuff. He misreads the scale, and he would misread the scale to our advantage, not to his. Like, see, that's what those ripples do. Catching that, see that piece of gold right there, trying to wash out. That's when you're down to time to wash back. So yeah, it's like I said, the company kind of had changed a little bit over the years from what it started. And Mike came in with Gold Nugget sales and kind of changed the game as far as the pay dirts and getting the kind of deals that you had, and just having a great personable guy. Check those out, little babies. That is some nuggety looking what you would call chunky gold. And some very pretty little chunks there too. And every one of them's a picker. A picker and a grinner. So, all right. Well, that's fun. That's the first batch out of our medium size. I'm curious to see if anything makes it into the lodge economy size. So yeah, all right. Well, but again, without really going into it, there was some issues with gold being exchanged that did not come out to be very equitable, and I believe it was all made right in the end. And but again, just like YouTube channels, if there's enough gold companies now that if you don't like the way one of them does business or is doesn't suit you, then it's real easy to say, well, I got this guy, and this guy. So what one of the things I always had that I had an issue with was when I ordered the last bag, and I add a gram to it, and postage goes from $12.95 to $14.95 or $15.95. It's like, well, why the fuck is it going up $5 for 1 gram of gold added to it? It never used to do that. And so I took it off, and actually I canceled the order. I ended up getting stuff from someone else. And I imagine that could be the response a lot of people got from that period whenever you'd go to put your order up, and or you don't catch it till but I caught it. But I meant to check and see when I did this bag if I added a gram to it, if it was going to change, and I ended up just going through with the shipping on it. So I should probably go through and reorder and see if it changes, and I'll let you know here at the end. I would hope they would have changed it, because as I said, there's no point of it. And it went up higher. It got up. If I ordered 3 grams, it went up to $20 shipping, $19.95 from being $12. And I was like, fuck this, man. If you're gonna try to now you're trying to start gouging people on mail. I'm sure as hell not gonna deal with you. But like I said, that was from 2 years ago. But it does put into a little perspective of why it's been this long since I decided to give it a look. And I almost got the wire gold. I was real tempted to pick up a bag of the wire gold, because it's basically regular price gold now. From being, when I bought it, gold was going for $55 a gram, and I was paying $100 a gram for it. And that's what I still have right now. I've other than a little bit of that I've parted with, I think maybe on a specific pay dirt or giveaway or something, I kept it because it was different from the subsequent wire gold I bought the next order. That was like this wire gold now, that was down to regular price gold, or within $5 or $10. But again, check out those little chunks there. We got a little smaller size in with these, but we have a very cool piece. Look at that. And last time it got me, I thought it was one piece like that. It turned out to be multiple pieces, but no, that is just one piece of gold with it looks like it's got the twist. Check, that is a beauty. Now see, I need to take a picture of that on a black with a black background and no reference for size, and put that on eBay for like $200. That is gorgeous. Let's look at the other side over here while I got it in the good light. Because it never looks as good inside to me. But look at, that's the other side of it. That is awesome. Very nice. All right, well, let's see if we got anything big hiding in here. I'll get back with you. Just to get a look at this material, you can see it's a lot of that mottled, looks like granite, crushed. I don't know what that other, I don't think that may be limestone. But mostly it looks like crushed granite. I haven't seen anything pop up in here yet, but that doesn't mean it's not here. But in this case it does. Oh, this is a nice, oh, I thought that was a piece of quartz shining, but no, it's just a rock. All right, well, I still have quite a bit of this to get through, so I'll get back with you when that's an interesting looking little rock there, if something shows up. In the meantime, if you haven't seen it yet, enjoy Pigs in Space.
And now another controvertible episode of Pigs in Space, starring the voracious Captain Link Hogthrob, the gluttonous First Mate Piggy, and the esurient Dr. Julius Strangeport.
As you recall, last week the spaceship Swine Trek was on a suicidal collision course with a mysterious celestial object.
Spunky, what's wrong?
It's coming straight at us, but I can't tell what it is.
Hey, why don't you put your feet on the ground and enjoy the ride?
Shit! I'm gonna kill all of you! As soon as I get out of this bucket! Nice going, Doc.
Prepare for collision.
Look after
He drives around all over the town. Toots is the driving cat.
All right, well, we are down to the bottom of our big stuff. I went through the other pan and there was nothing in it. I really didn't expect there to be anything in these because those were some pretty good sized chunks that we found in that mid-size stuff. Actually, it used to be one of the big other complaints about GOLDBAY was that they would have, just like you saw in this one, a pan full of material, giant material that had no, there was no chance of being gold that size in it, and it would make up, 2/3 of the bag, and then you'd have that little bit of sand that would have all your gold in it. So he definitely changed that over the years and got away from filling it up with the big material. Actually, if I recall, I think Mike used to have larger stuff in his bags too whenever he started out. That would be really chunky, large 1 inch, 2 inch, type rocks in the material that was, like I said, just taking up space and adding weight. And he adjusted his very quickly. Because you see the stuff that we get now, there's very rare. A lot of times I don't even classify it at all. And back in the day, years ago, it was you had to classify just to get all the big rocks out of the way on these bags. Nowadays, and again, postage was $7.50 and $8.50 a package then too, and gold was $55 a gram. And you can buy a hamburger for 50 cents and go to the show for $1. Truly, dollar movie. Look at there. So yeah, had you seen the Pigs in Space short? I don't know how much it goes out to, that people catch of my regular subscribers, but for all my shorts people that watch, but yeah, it's pretty hilarious. And it's just so ludicrous to call themselves astronauts to the point where they had to come out and NASA had to specifically say, no, you have to actually be an astronaut to call yourself an astronaut. You were basically sentient luggage. It was the most expensive. You know how whenever people go parachuting and they skydiving and they've never done it, so they strap on in front of their instructor. So you're like in one of those little baby carriers, and there's that. Look at that piece of gold right there. How cool that is! When you're one of those baby carriers, and you parachuted with some guy on your back, running it. Yeah, that's what they did. And the sense of weightlessness was whenever you are falling in a parachute. That's how it feels. Except you've got wind whipping by you. They're in a box. So that's why their hair only kind of raised up a little bit, because that is the inertia from falling in an enclosed cube where you don't get wind resistance. So yeah, it's just it's hilarious. It's destroyed Bezos, because actually, people don't realize that he cannot go into orbit. His ships are not capable. He's been trying for the last almost like 18 years. Every one of them's failed. And that's why he's kind of a joke as far as space industry goes, because he's a tourist trap guy. It's not feasible for the advancement of space flight or space travel, because if you can't get into low Earth orbit or orbital status, then it's pretty pointless. They went up right to the edge of space and then fell straight back down. That was it. Yeehaw, astronauts, heroes. So all right, well, we're gonna get this weight up and see how it looks. And not a bad look for our Gold Bay. First time in, like I said, years. Actually, I'm curious of how many of you guys even were familiar with that story. If you're on YouTube more, maybe you would know it, but I told my friends about it yesterday, showed them my video. And he and his girlfriend, neither one had heard anything about any of this. They knew nothing. They knew who Katy Perry was, a has-been singer. But that's the rest of it, the launch, the feminazi crap. They were totally oblivious. And I'm betting is that what the majority of the American population is? Oblivious to this crap that goes on that we see because we follow everything on YouTube. But I'm just curious. And a little quick update from the garden. If you remember from last week, look how those peppers have doubled and tripled in size, with more of them coming out. Now the question is, are they going to be hot? We will see. But yeah, they're popping everywhere. And my little habanero over here, they're taken. We'll see. And as long as we're out here, I believe I showed these when I got them. They were two little rescues for like $2 a piece. Just a couple of leaves, and now you can see each one's a plant, and they're the Venus flytrap. They put out their flowers well above their jaws, because when the pollinators come, if they get too close, they get eaten, and it makes it hard to spread your seed when you eat your pollinators. So yeah, these things have done really good. The trick is, this is that sorghum, and other than way down there, I've got some dirt, but the whole pot is nothing but this stuff. And because these things cannot live on anything that's got nutrients, any kind of dirt. But, and speaking of dirt, a big thanks to my good friend, Mr. Matthew Ford. There's our reaper's still struggling, but yeah, my little plants over there that are going, and the one I got back over there going are off of my super dirt that he had sent me from a couple of years ago that I'm still using. And actually I had some starter soil he gave me that I was using this year from last year that he had sent. So, but yeah, everything is doing better than it has done over the last 3 years, incredibly already. And we're not even out of spring barely. So, but yeah, that little guy is doing real good. I throw him a bug once in a while, and or my guys, because there's 2 of them. So there you go. There's the botanical update for the bayou. It actually stays down here at underneath the gold station, kind of pushed back so it gets a little bit of sun in the afternoon, but it doesn't like a lot of it. It doesn't get much better looking than that on a 1 gram bag of gold. That is some pretty stuff. Gizmo, calm down. There's our cool twister piece there. It looks like, I think that's it. Yeah, it looks like three separate pieces, but it's just that one very cool piece. Then we've got our variety of little wire golds in there. And there's a little piece that we saw earlier. So, Gizmo, calm down. What's wrong? Alright, so let's just see what we ended up with. I gotta watch, it's got that little round little round piece there. It's like a little ball. Very cool little piece there, like a little bead. So our scale was checked out. And we are good to go. So let's see what we ended up with here. 1.089 grams. Very nice. And I did go through my tongues. We got everything. And like I said, it was not a tough paydirt to go through. So you could enjoy this if you're even a beginner, but an experienced panner would get through it quick, but you'd still end up with some really beautiful gold for your time. So there we go, GOLDBAY, a nice little pile. Well, I have to say we have an awesome little pile of gold here, and we've got our little beads and our cool beads, and check out that cube. That's as close in as I can zoom in on it, but that little tiny quartz cube that made it through all this. That's the only piece of quartz, anything clear that I saw, and I don't need this at all. It's a perfect cube, though. How bizarre is that? That's cool. But yeah, some very cool pieces. There's our twister. See, it looks different in this light than it did out there. But yeah, some really cool. There's a little smooth bead rolled around. There's a couple of those. Some nice chunks. So a little flat piece. There's that one that's our wire gold that we had the close up of. But yeah, really nice. So our weight of 1.089 grams on the day that I bought it was going for $3,436. That was on April 22nd when it hit its all-time high. It was up to almost $3,500 before the day was over, during the day. But $114.95 for the bag, $10.95 postage, and like I said, I don't count postage. Our gold value on this came out to $120.30. So with our $114.95 bag, that gives us an ROI of 105%. And even if you count postage in on this for the $125.90 full price, it's 96% ROI. So a really good bag and a good amount of dirt. Like I said, it was easy to get through, so it's what anybody can enjoy. And the fun is the gold for sure, because y'all saw there was some good stuff coming out. So yeah, it was. Oh, and I did go back and look on the website, and I ordered three grams added to the bag, and it stayed the same postage. So they have stopped that practice of adding a price for the gold, adding mail costs. So that's very good. So like I said, I'm real happy with this, and maybe y'all want to get a bag of GOLDBAY there. It's been a while, because there's no little round nuggets. So yeehaw. Well, I believe that is a pretty good wrap up for this video. That stuff looked great. Thank you, GOLDBAY. It was a pleasure. So, and thank you to you all for watching and tuning in, subscribing. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, I'd appreciate that. Maybe a thumbs up is always nice. There's my little girl. She I had my last little ones fixed this last weekend, Mama and the 2 babies. So she's got her little scars I'm watching on them that they're healing up very nice. It's the first. Oh, he's wondering why I'm not picking him up. It's first of the month, so this is the night I'm going to be dosing 9 vials of flea preventative on these cats, and Gizmo gets his pill. So wish me luck on that. No, they're very cooperative. So. And again, thank you all so much for being participating in the 420 Gulf of America raffle. I have not yet recorded the drawing yet, so that'll be coming up. And I'm not sure if it'll be before this video or not, but I appreciate it very much, and congratulations, and thank you again. So with that, me and my little guy here are going to wish you all a fond adieu until the next time. This is Bayou Gold Guy saying take care of each other and peace out, my friends. I almost forgot, I wanted to very much again thank everyone that's sent in and supported the channel so much and showed so much patriotism. Y'all saw a lot of it on this video. My Spencer 17 Trump hat, my Doug Odette Trump gnome next to the Carson Lego Trump that's our standard channel mascot, to Matthew Ford Prospecting for the awesome dirt y'all saw my stuff growing in out there, to Gold Thumb Prospecting for that awesome Trump silver that he sent for the Miracle in Pennsylvania. So again, John R. Prospecting for my GOLDBAY hat you see here. He picked that up for me whenever he was up getting my pay dirt when he was at the show. So again, a lot of times y'all see stuff that's going into everything. A lot of stuff just from people that have sent stuff in over the years, and it is very much appreciated. And I thank you all so much. I don't know. We'll get here. We got a shot we got to end with a shot of the Sergeant Joe signed hat as well. That's an awesome piece there. So once again, thank you all so much, and have another wonderful day in America.